Let's move now to another of my favorite international players when it comes to this category of sports apparel, and that is Under Armour. Under Armour. Here we go. Let me show you the brand. You'll be familiar with this one. That's that Under Armour logo there. What's that? Like a N and a U inverted on each other. This is a brand which is extremely hot. It's a company based in the United States of America in Baltimore, but it is focused traditionally on branded performance apparel, specifically for high performance athletes and specifically for this stuff, which is like base layer, right? So this is the stuff that you wear underneath everything else, because remember, in the northern hemisphere, the weather is so shocking that poor buggers have to train in the middle of winter half the time. So you need this stuff, which really hugs you close. It's also not bad if you're a little bit overweight. It makes you look like a sausage, but at least you'll look a little bit thinner than you would otherwise. So put on your base layer and go to gym. In the winter time, you'll be looking better than your parents and your wife thought you might be looking at this stage of the day. It's moved into the exercise arena aggressively, though, in the same way that Nike has. So you might have noticed that they are the sponsor of Jordan Spieth, who is the most winningest young golfer at the moment, both the winner of the US Open as well as the Masters. So they're getting into that. They also sponsored a number of the US teams when they took part in the Winter and Summer Olympics, that kind of thing. They're also very, very brand aware. So they, for example, paid for Captain America to wear Under Armour stuff while he was going for a jog in the latest Avenger movies. Okay, that kind of thing. They are also involved in two interesting digital initiatives. The one is to sell a lot of stuff online direct. So they don't, like Nike, have the same kind of concept store model. They more look for online sales, and they also are involved in another category of electronic media, and that is fitness tracking applications. So they bought things like MapMyFitness and a couple of those other Mondo and so on. So these are applications that people use on their smartphones in order to track as they run. Because as you know, more and more people now run wearing earphones, listening to Apple Music, tracking the application. It uploads, syncs with your health application. You can track how well you're doing. When I run, for example, I use an application called Strava, which keeps track of how you're doing, and then you can actually report your runs and monitor them, and it gets fed through to Discovery, so you can get super points for that kind of thing. Market cap of Under Armour, $19.3 billion. This one has done exceptionally well. Price to earnings ratio of 94, okay? Not paying dividends, so I think you're beginning to get a picture of what kind of company we're talking about here. Look at the share chart. This thing just goes off like a rocket. So you could have bought them 5 years ago for like, what is that, $10, and they're now at 88. So this one is almost a 10-bagger. Extremely innovative, hard charging, big marketing budget, coming hard. It's now the second largest player in sports apparel in the United States market. It overtook and left Adidas in the dust. So Nike's still the number one. And again, it's this combination of high performance wear for professional athletes, but then also making the stuff available for ordinary people. They're in shoes, they're in football gear, and so on and so forth. Definitely a hot stock. We've been accumulating them for clients. I own them myself. Something that you got to say, you're going to imagine is going to be a much, much bigger business in time to come, at which point it's going to grow into its price to earnings ratio. It's going to grow in and start paying dividends. But for the moment, it's going large, going fast, and going hard. Right, so we're hot on that one naturally as well.